The Alien War Council gaped in astonishment at the grainy footage as a 70-ton all-terrain armored assault vehicle plummeted from the airlock of the frail human mining barge, its magnetic treads crashing onto the hull of a looming Crimson Claw battlecruiser. An unimaginable nightmare that defied conventional galactic tactics was unfolding before their bulbous reptilian eyes. High Counselor Umbra summoned the emergency meeting to make sense of an incident that could reshape the geopolitical balance of the galaxy. In the 2 decades since humans emerged from their isolated solar system, the fledgling species quickly established a reputation as industrious yet primitive beings, their flimsy ships no match for the advanced plasma cannons and quantum missiles fielded by the major powers. When a distress signal from the TDS Hermes reached Council space, Umbra anticipated a tragic, yet routine pirate attack on a defenseless mining operation. But as details trickled in, the situation proved anything but typical. The Hermes, laden with 30 souls and a fortune in rare earth minerals, was ambushed by the Ravager, a warship captained by a ruthless Crimson Claw warlord. Outgunned and minutes from annihilation, the human commander made a desperate gambit to save his crew. "By the 7 moons, that thing is actually maneuvering on the cruiser's hull," Umbra gasped, watching the tank's cannons swivel and fire into the Ravager's armored hull at point-blank range, the projectile puncturing deep into the ship's vital innards and crew compartments. "This tank is breaching the Ravager's defenses through its own airlock." As the councillors watched in rapt horror, unable to tear their gaze from the spectacle, a grim realization settled over Umbra. If this lone mining barge could inflict such devastation on an Etherian-class battlecruiser, the thought of entire human tank divisions rampaging across the stars chilled his blood. The age of galactic tranquility was over. A new epoch of interstellar ground warfare had begun, spearheaded by an upstart species whose tactical ingenuity and utter fearlessness rewrote the rules of engagement. The survival of the Vognier, and perhaps every sentient race, hinged on the Council's next actions regarding these unpredictable humans and their terrifying planet-bound war machines. One thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same. The Council watched in mute disbelief as the footage continued. Hicks, the human tank commander, maneuvered his 70-ton behemoth across the Ravager's hull with a grace that belied its size. The M1A5's 120mm smoothbore cannon and remote-controlled 12.7mm machine gun turret swiveled with mechanical precision, engaging the Crimson Claw's external defenses. Point defense lasers, designed to vaporize missiles and fighters, splashed harmlessly against the tank's composite armor. The outer layers, a complex blend of ceramics, reactive plates, and energy-absorbing polymers, had been engineered to withstand direct hits from the most advanced plasma weapons and high-explosive anti-tank rounds. Umbra leaned forward, his reptilian eyes narrowing as Hicks systematically targeted the Ravager's sensor arrays and communication antennas. Each precise cannon shot shattered delicate equipment, leaving the once mighty warship blind and deaf. The Crimson Claw, caught completely off guard by this unconventional assault, failed to mount an effective counterattack. Their warriors, trained for ship-to-ship combat and boarding actions, found themselves helpless against the armored titan rampaging across their hull. "We have faced human infantry and their small arms before," Umbra explained to the Council, his voice tight with tension. "But this tank, we never imagined such destructive power and durability in a ground-based weapon." As the M1A5 Abrams continued its relentless assault, Hicks spotted a vulnerable point on the Ravager's hull, a poorly armored maintenance hatch leading directly to the ship's main reactor. The tank's targeting computer locked onto the weak point, and with a squeeze of the trigger, Hicks sent a depleted uranium sabot round streaking towards the hatch. The round, a dart of super-dense metal accelerated to hypersonic speeds, punched through the hatch like a needle through cloth. It pierced the reactor's containment vessel, releasing a cascade of catastrophic failures that tore the Ravager apart from within. The Council members watched in awe as the once mighty warship broke apart into multiple sections, secondary explosions rippling through its hull. The Ravager's crew of 200 Crimson Claw warriors perished instantly, their lives snuffed out by the reactor breach. "We have vastly underestimated the resourcefulness and adaptability of human warfare," Umbra said, his voice somber. "We assumed that our advanced space-based weapons would always prevail over their primitive ground-based technology. How wrong we were." As the shattered remnants of the Ravager tumbled through the void, Hicks deftly maneuvered his war machine across the debris-strewn hull of the Hermes. The tank's magnetic treads gripped the battered surface, allowing the vehicle to navigate the treacherous landscape with surprising agility. Upon reaching the airlock, Hicks was met with a grim sight. The Hermes had suffered extensive damage during the fierce battle, its hull perforated by numerous breaches. The ship's life support systems flickered erratically, struggling to maintain a habitable environment for the crew within. First Officer Michael Chen emerged from the airlock, his face etched with exhaustion and relief. "Hicks, you crazy bastard! I can't believe you pulled that off!" Chen exclaimed, clasping the tank commander's hand in a firm handshake. "What's our status, Chen?" Hicks asked, his voice tinged with concern. "We've managed to seal off the breached sections and restore emergency power, but the Hermes is in bad shape. She's not going to be making any jumps anytime soon," Chen replied, his eyes scanning the devastation that surrounded them. Hicks knew that time was of the essence. The nearest human outpost was weeks away at best speed, and with the Hermes crippled, they were stranded in hostile territory. In a daring move, he activated the tank's powerful communication array and hailed the Vognir High Command. "Vognir High Command, this is Commander Hicks of the TDS Hermes. We have been attacked by a Crimson Claw warship and are in need of immediate assistance. Our ship is severely damaged, and our crew is in danger. Please respond." Back in the council chambers, Umbra and his fellow leaders deliberated over the unexpected plea for help. The Crimson Claw's actions had not been sanctioned by the Vognir government, and intervening could be seen as a political risk. However, as Hicks's transmission continued, the evidence of the Ravager's unprovoked assault became undeniable. The human commander's impassioned words and the dire situation of his crew swayed the council's decision. "Dispatch a rescue fleet immediately," Umbra commanded, his voice filled with resolve. "We cannot stand idly by while our allies are in peril." Within minutes, a Vognir rescue fleet, comprising 3 heavy cruisers and a state-of-the-art medical frigate, set course for the Hermes location. As the fleet arrived, Hicks and his crew watched in awe as the Vognir ships deployed their own armored vehicles onto the Hermes' ravaged hull. These vehicles, known as Vognir Assault Platforms, WAPs, were smaller and more nimble than the M1A5 Abrams, their sleek forms darting across the surface with incredible speed. Though they lacked the heavy armor and raw firepower of the human tank, the WAP's advanced technology and specialized equipment made them invaluable assets in the rescue operation. The WAPs worked in perfect unison with the human crew, their advanced repair drones sealing hull breaches and restoring critical systems with remarkable efficiency. As the Hermes slowly regained stability, the Vognir medical teams transferred the injured human crew members to the waiting medical frigate, ensuring they received the best possible care. Umbra watched the unprecedented cooperation between human and Vognir ground forces with a mix of amazement and contemplation. This joint operation represented a significant milestone in the often strained relationship between the two species, a glimmer of hope in an increasingly uncertain galaxy. As the battered Hermes crew recuperated aboard the state-of-the-art Vognir medical frigate, Captain Hicks found himself summoned to an urgent meeting with the Vognir High Command. Escorted by a pair of sleek Vognir transport craft, Hicks and a team of the aliens' brightest engineers and scientists docked with the imposing flagship cruiser, the WGS Supremacy. The gleaming corridors of the Supremacy hummed with advanced technology, a stark contrast to the utilitarian design of human vessels. Hicks, flanked by his Vognir companions, strode into the expansive briefing room where Umbra and the High Command awaited. "Captain Hicks," Umbra greeted, his reptilian features unreadable. "Your actions aboard the Ravager have sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Never before have we witnessed such a display of ground-based firepower in space combat." Hicks nodded, his eyes scanning the room. "The M1A5 Abrams was designed for planetary warfare, but we never anticipated using it quite like this." The Wagner engineers stepped forward, presenting a detailed analysis of the tank's performance. Holographic displays flickered to life, showcasing the Abrams' composite armor withstanding point-blank plasma blasts and its 120mm cannon puncturing the Ravager's hull with precision. "The durability and versatility of this machine are remarkable," one engineer commented, his voice tinged with awe. "But what truly fascinates us is the concept of a single human operator controlling the vehicle through a neural interface." Umbra leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "We Wagner have long struggled with the development of autonomous ground vehicles. Our AI technology, while advanced in many respects, has yet to master the complexities of terrestrial warfare." Hicks sensed an opportunity, a chance to forge a stronger bond between their species. "Perhaps we can help each other," he suggested. "Combine human ground warfare expertise with Wagner materials science and energy weapons technology." The High Command exchanged glances, a flurry of hushed whispers filling the room. After a moment, Umbra turned to Hicks, his expression resolute. "Captain Hicks, the Wagner High Command proposes a joint research and development program. Our finest minds working alongside yours to create a new generation of armored fighting vehicles, incorporating the best of both our species' technologies." Hicks considered the offer, weighing the potential benefits against the challenges. A collaboration of this scale would be unprecedented, but the events aboard the Ravager had proven that human-Wagner cooperation could yield extraordinary results. "On behalf of the Terran Defense Fleet, I accept your proposal," Hicks declared, extending his hand to Umbra in a gesture of partnership. Within days, Project Aegis was born. A secure research facility on the Wagner homeworld of Zephyria buzzed with activity as human and Wagner engineers worked side by side, their expertise melding in ways never before imagined. Umbra watched the collaboration unfold, marveling at the rapid progress and the growing camaraderie between the two species. Though the project faced its share of setbacks and challenges, the High Counselor knew that this marked a turning point in human-Wagner relations. No longer were they merely allies of convenience, brought together by the threat of the Crimson Claw. Now they were partners in innovation, their shared knowledge and resources paving the way for a new era of galactic security. As the first prototypes of the Aegis vehicles took shape, their sleek forms blending human resilience with Wagner technological prowess, Umbra allowed himself a rare smile. The future, once so uncertain, now held a glimmer of hope, a promise of a galaxy where the strength of unity could overcome any foe. As Project Aegis neared its thrilling conclusion, a palpable tension crackled through the sleek halls of the Zephyria research facility. Captain Hicks, his brow furrowed, pored over schematics and test data with Dr. Zarya Solaris, the brilliant Wagner scientist who had become his trusted confidant. "These final simulations are promising, Zarya," Hicks said. "The hybrid tank's energy shielding and plasma cannon could be a game-changer." Solaris nodded, her reptilian eyes gleaming with excitement. "Indeed, Captain, but I fear not everyone shares our enthusiasm for this collaboration." Unbeknownst to Hicks and Solaris, a shadowy cabal of hardline Wagner military leaders, led by the ruthless General Zargon, plotted to seize control of Project Aegis. In their eyes, this joint venture threatened Wagner technological supremacy. As Hicks and Solaris prepared for the project's final demonstration, Zargon's forces struck with brutal efficiency. Alarms blared as armored Wagner soldiers stormed the facility, plasma rifles blazing. Researchers, both human and Wagner, fell under the onslaught, their screams echoing through the corridors. Hicks, his combat instincts kicking in, rallied a small group of loyalists, including Solaris. They raced to the prototype hangar, dodging plasma bolts and the lifeless bodies of their colleagues. "We need to get to the hybrid tanks," Hicks shouted over the chaos. "They're our only chance." In the hangar, Hicks and his team climbed into the sleek armored vehicles, their hands flying over the unfamiliar controls. The tanks roared to life, their energy shields shimmering as they deflected incoming fire. With Hicks at the lead, the Loyalists blasted their way out of the facility, the hybrid tank's plasma cannons making short work of Zargon's forces. But the general, piloting his own advanced combat mech, stood in their path. "Surrender, Captain." Zargon's voice boomed over the comm. "Project Aegis belongs to me now." Hicks gritted his teeth, his hands tightening on the controls. "Not a chance, Zargon, this ends now." The two machines clashed in a titanic battle, plasma cannons and energy blades flashing in the smoke-filled air. Hicks, his skills honed by years of tank warfare, managed to outmaneuver Zargon's mech, landing a devastating blow to its power core. As Zargon's mech exploded, Hicks turned to check on his team, only to see Solaris slumped over her console, a plasma bolt having pierced her chest. Hicks rushed to her side, cradling her limp form. "Stay with me, Zarya," he pleaded, his voice breaking. "We did it, we won." But Solaris, her life fading, could only manage a weak smile. "It was an honor, Captain," she whispered, her eyes closing for the last time. Hicks, his heart heavy with grief, emerged from the smoldering ruins of the Aegis facility, the surviving members of his team in tow. They had beaten Zargon, but at a terrible cost. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.